Get ready to learn some basic yoga poses. In this video, we're going to teach you how to do some of the poses that will help you for future sessions. Always warm up, wear comfortable clothing, bare feet, use a yoga mat, block and straps if you need to, and always breathe from your belly. We're going to begin seated in our basic namaste position. Legs are crossed out in front of you and hands are placed outstretched across the top of your knees. You want to keep your eyes closed and begin belly breathing, where you're breathing deep into your belly, in through the nose and out through the mouth, keeping your eyes closed and getting yourself centered to be able to perform all the poses that need focus and concentration. Begin to relax deeply. We'll begin with seated twists, and you're going to cross a bent leg over the straight leg and then twist your body over that bent leg towards that side. Lift from the hips as you twist to create space in between the vertebrae of your spine and give you a better twist, and keep breathing throughout. Switching to the opposite side, we're going to cross the opposite leg over the straight leg and twist our body over that bent leg towards that side. Keep breathing, and as you loosen up, you can lift taller and stretch a little further. Only go until it feels like you're stretching, but not painful. Keeping your soles of your feet together, we're going to get into a butterfly position, grabbing your feet and pulling them as close to your groin as possible, letting your knees fall out to the sides. And you can bend over from your hips over your feet to get even more stretch in the inner thighs. Getting on all fours, we're going to do cats and cows, where we round our back up and then flatten our back. Round our back and tuck in our butt, and then flatten the back and stick out the butt. This is a great way to loosen up the spine. Keep breathing and always keep your core tight throughout all of these exercises. Imagine your belly button being drawn back to your spine. We're going to move from all fours into child's pose by sitting back on our heels and reaching our arms out in front of us as we try to get our forehead down to the ground. Great way to stretch out the lower back, the quads, the shoulders. Sitting on your heels and reaching out in front of you. Keep breathing and keep a tight core. We're going to move into down dog, where we get from a standing, we go into a piked position, and we're on our balls of our feet and on our hands, and we're going to have our body in the shape of a V and just hold it. Try to bring your heels down to the ground as far as possible, and you'll feel a great stretch in the shoulders as well as the butt and back of the thighs. Variation of down dog, we're going to get back down into that piked position, trying to lower the heels to the ground, and we're going to just pretend we're walking and just alternate, going from rocking from side to side, bending knees, one leg bending the other leg, and just keep alternating, bending legs as we're in this piked position. One more variation to the down dog, getting in that piked position. And we're going to lift up one leg. So we lift up our right leg and just hold the position. This is a three-legged dog. Keep a tight core. And get ready to do the opposite side. Same thing, opposite leg. We're in our down dog position. This time we're lifting up our left leg while trying to keep our right leg supported with a tight core, balancing ourselves on one leg and our hands. Forward fold. From a standing position, bring your arms overhead and fold at the hips, not at the waist, and try to come down towards the ground. Only go as far as comfortable. You may only reach your shins, you may touch your ankles, you may go down to the ground. You can use a yoga block to help you if you need to, and if you want a deeper stretch, you can grab your ankles and try and bring your head towards your knees. You'll feel this in the back of the thighs and the lower back. As we come up slowly and get ready for mountain pose, standing tall. You're just going to imagine your feet are growing roots and planted to the ground as you reach your upper body up to the sky. You can keep your hands down at your sides, or you can reach them above your head and look up towards your hands. You want to imagine the upper body reaching to the sky and the lower body getting rooted and planted down into the earth. Keep breathing and keep your belly button drawn to your spine. Tree pose. From a standing position, you're going to bend one leg and place the foot on the inner thigh, knee, or shin, whatever is comfortable. And then we're going to do the opposite side, same thing. Bend one leg, place the sole of your foot on the inner thigh, knee, or shin, wherever you feel the most comfort and balance. We're going to move into our warrior series. Warrior 1. You're in a basic lunge, front lunge, forward lunge position. Only go as far as comfortable. If you want a deeper lunge, you have a wider stance and go deeper, but you want those arms pointing up towards the sky as you're looking forward into that front lunge. Back leg slightly turned out. You can do the same thing on the opposite side. Other leg is in front, and we're in a forward lunge or a front lunge. Back leg is slightly turned out. Arms are reaching towards the sky. If you want a deeper stretch, just widen your stance and go deeper into the lunge. Just make sure you keep your knee behind your toe. Warrior 2. In that same lunge position, but this time we're going to open up our hips and shoulders and look over the shoulder that is over the front bent leg. Again, this requires balance, so keep your core tight. These positions take practice, but you'll get it. Same thing, Warrior 2 on the other side, beginning in a forward lunge and then opening up our hip and shoulder and extending our arms away from the body and looking over the arm that is over the front bent leg. Keep breathing from your belly throughout the exercises. Our final warrior pose is our Warrior 3, where you're going to be on alternating, kicking one leg back behind you as you extend your arms in front of you. Try to keep a flat back, and you can vary this. The deeper you go into the bend, the harder it will be. For a beginner, you want to go about halfway so that you don't lose your balance. This requires a lot of focus and practice. Going into triangle pose, starting in a lunge position, but make sure we keep that front leg straight this time and bending at the side over the front leg. Try to reach your hand down towards the ground. Again, you could use a yoga block, or you can grab your ankle, your shin, or your knee, wherever you can reach. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So in a lunge, you straighten that front leg and then lean towards that front foot. Go down only as far as is comfortable and hold the stretch. This is a great stretch for the inner thigh and the side oblique muscles. And a forward fold. We're going to bend at the hips and bring our hands down to the ground as far as we can. Hold on to your ankles or your shins or a yoga block, whatever's comfortable. If your hands are comfortable on the ground, you can do that. Get a great stretch in the lower back and the legs. Grab your ankles and try to bring your head towards your knees for a deeper stretch. And get ready for some floor exercises. So back into a down dog. We're in a piked position. And we're going to come out into a hand plank. Keep that back straight, keep the belly button towards the spine. And we're going to move down onto the mat into a half cobra on our hands with our elbows bent and our chest lifted. This is a series called Vinyasa, and then we're going to move back into our child's pose where we sit back on our heels and extend our arms out in front. Now we're going to do that in a quick sequence, going from a down dog into a hand plank, into a half cobra, and right back into that child's pose. Moving into a half cobra, we're going to be on our hands, elbows can be on the ground, chest is lifted, and you want to squeeze your shoulder blades together. You're going to move into a full cobra where we're going to rise up on our hands with straight elbows, but make sure that you do not hyperextend the spine. If this is too much, you can go back down onto your hands and elbows and keep that chest lifted. You're going to get on all fours and do bird dog, where we're extending one leg and one arm. So the opposite leg and arm are reaching in opposite directions. So left leg and right arm are reaching out. And this is a great way to stretch the spine, the leg, the shoulder. And then we're going to switch to the opposite where we have the left arm out in front and the right leg extended behind us. Sometimes it's easier to extend the leg first and then the arm if you can't get your balance at the beginning. Seated in a boat pose, we're going to lean back onto our butt and lift our feet off the ground with bent knees and arms out in front of us, balancing on the butt and lower back. To make this more difficult, we're going to add some bicycle kicks to it. So you're in your basic boat pose, but then you're cycling your legs as if you're riding a bicycle. So leaning most of your weight on your butt in the very beginning of the lower back, supporting yourself with your core, bringing your belly button to your spine, and keep breathing throughout. Laying down flat on our back, this is the corpse pose. And basically, that's what it is. You're doing nothing. You're just lying there. But this is a great way to relax after doing some hard exercises. Lying flat on your back, let your feet fall out to the sides, let your arms fall out to the sides, close your eyes, and just relax. This is a great pose to do some deep relaxation and muscle relaxation as well. From lying on our back, we're going to bend our legs, feet flat on the floor, and lift our hips and lower back off the ground for bridge pose. Your shoulders should be supporting you in this move, not your neck. Keep your neck forward and straight throughout the pose and keep a very tight core. You can make this a little bit more difficult as we add a one-legged bridge pose. So same exact pose as bridge, except we're going to extend one leg and support ourselves on our shoulders and one leg. Again, keep that core tight, keep the hips lifted. Switch to the opposite leg. And you can even make this more difficult by raising the leg up and down for a number of repetitions. On our back, we're going into pigeon, where we're going to create the number 4 by placing our one ankle over our thigh and grabbing behind the thigh and trying to bring the bent knee towards the chest. You should feel this in the buttocks muscles. And you're going to switch to the opposite side. So your legs are creating a number 4, and your hand is going through the 4 and grabbing the underneath the thigh and pulling towards you. We're going into an advanced version of this. Same thing. It's the pigeon pose, but instead of grabbing the thigh, we're grabbing the shin of the bent leg and pulling towards the chest. This gives us a deeper stretch, and pushing your elbow out on that inner thigh will help stretch more. And switching to the other side, same thing, grabbing our shin this time instead of behind the thigh and pulling towards our chest. On our back, grabbing our feet for happy baby. You see babies in this position all the time because it's comfortable and it's fun. It's a great stretch for the lower back and butt and thigh muscles. So grabbing the outsides of your feet, you're going to bring your bent legs towards your chest. Get ready for shin hugs, feet flat on the ground, knees are bent, and you're going to grab your shins and pull your knees towards your chest. Another great way to stretch out the lower back. Keep breathing and relax through this pose. And we can vary this pose by doing shin hugs where we're just rocking from side to side. So same pose, except we're going to gently rock from side to side. Do not go all the way down. This is just a gentle rock to help loosen up the core and the spine and the lower back and the hips. For a deeper twist, we can do supine twists where you're going to grab those shins up towards your chest and then completely twist them towards one side, allowing your knees to be stacked one on top of the other and twisting your torso to the opposite direction. Then you come back to the middle and let the knees fall to the opposite side, and your torso will go to the opposite direction of the knees. It's a great twist for the spine. Great job. You just did a great job learning your yoga poses. Like anything else, it takes practice. So repeat this video often till you feel comfortable with the poses, and we'll get ready for some yoga sessions.